Hello, hello. Jenny Funkmeyer here, Parallel University. Today's topic, it's called Edit Your Life. It's a life-changing technique, truly amazing. I have used it in my own life to tremendous success. My life really, I can say, is getting better and better. And a lot of it is due to this technique that I use, and it's a technique that I call Edit Your Life. The tagline is, make yourself the star of your own new reality blockbuster show. Yes, I was a filmmaker for 25 years, and I am very aware that life is really a movie. Movie actually imitates life. Your brain is kind of the computer, and your eyes is the camera, and also your brain is also the editor. The writer, director, producer is actually your higher mind, the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind, or God, or whatever you want to call it. My conscious mind is here to observe the movie I am making. I have no control of my life, but I can see what movie I'm making, and through this technique, Edit Your Life, you can make a better and better movie. It's kind of a technique to navigate between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. So let me get into it. So, Edit Your Life. First, you have to understand it's the premise that you're taking life like a movie, and the movie is shot in the now, right? You live your life in the now. That's what everyone said. Live in the now. Don't live in the future. Don't live in the past. Life happens in the now. And that's absolutely true. Life happens. It's happening right now. This is the moment that is happening. We're going live. So this is it. So the movie, as you are living life, you're just living. You're just going on and on. So what happens when you live life is this moment is now, and then the next moment is now, and then the next moment is now again. So it's now, 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 now. It's a very fast current. So what happens is at night, early in the morning, anytime you can, get some perspective on what's actually happening. So every night before I go to sleep, I would really just kind of go into a meditation and look at things that happened in my life that day. And I'd apply Edit Your Life technique to it to actually see what's going on. And I also, when there's some things that happen to me that I don't like, I will also apply the Edit Your Life technique immediately so I can find out like what actually happens. Sometimes it will take me many Edit Your Life in the same event to truly understand what's going on. And it's kind of something that you would use, that you would do consistently. And when you do that consistently over a period of time, your life starts to get better. So if life is a movie shot in the now, like in the production, is just going on, the blockbuster movie is being made in the editing room. Now, any good filmmaker will tell you that a good movie is not made in the script. Having a good script will be great. Having a good cinematographer will be great. Good actors really help. The music composers really help. But all this stuff doesn't make a good movie. The good movie is made in the editing room. It's when everything comes together, everything is put together. And that's the power you have in your life, because you are not the writer, producer, director of your life. God is, but you are the editor. You can make an amazing movie out of whatever shit is happening in your life. You can make an amazing, amazing movie out of your life. Whatever is happening, doesn't matter. You can make it good. and only you can make it good. Take responsibility and be your own editor and make yourself into the star. So this part of the video, I'm going to explain the concept of edit your life. I'm going to explain why you should do edit your life. I'm going to tell you what happens when you do edit your life, the step-by-step technique. And then in the next video, I'm going to guide you into a meditation, guided meditation of edit your life meditation, so you can follow with me and do it step by step. And in fact, I also run edit your life workshop. If you go to parallel.university, that's the website that you can find out when an edit your life workshop happens, and you can, you know, come and ask me questions and do it with me. This Sunday there will be an edit your life workshop in Los Angeles, and if you're in Los Angeles, you should come. And if you're wondering what this Sunday means, it means this Sunday. I don't want to put a date on it because you might be seeing this video many years later. Okay, let's ask first of all, why do you do edit your life? The most important part is self-knowledge, self-knowing. Know thyself. So important to know who I am. I don't care about the other people. I don't know them. People just do whatever they want to do with their life. It's not my business. It's not my problem to change them. But it is my life. It is me. I gotta know myself. So knowing myself is the most important thing. Because why? Because reality emanates from me. My reality emanates from me. If I change my inner self, I change the outer self. And that's the only way that my reality will change. Reality repeats itself. Every good situation, every shitty situation repeats until you change your inside. Now, you will get the same terrible relationship, horrible husband, same girlfriends that ditch you, same horrible job, whatever it is that's bad happening in you, it won't change until you change. You will move to a different city, and then you will finally say you're in a city and you hate it, and then you move to a new city, and a few years later you find yourself in the exact same situation, bad apartment, terrible neighbors, bad girlfriend, bad job, and then so you pick yourself up and you move again, and then a few years later you find yourself in the same situation. Why? Because you yourself haven't changed. Reality is created with frequency. You have to change your frequency. 1 equals 1. It's a match. 1, you put in 1, you will get 1. You put in 2, you will get 2. You put in 3, you will get 3. You put in a square, you will get a square. You put a circle, you will get a circle. It's exactly the same thing. That's how reality works. It matches frequency. But if you've been putting in 1, 1, 1, 1, suddenly you change you're inside, you start saying 2. What does this do? The reality is going to go to 2. So, sorry, let me start that again. This is you and this is reality. And if you keep saying 1, reality is going to keep showing you 1. This is you say 1, your reality looks like 1. So the only way to change reality is to change yourself, and now if you say 2, reality goes to 2. It's like looking into a mirror. That's what reality is. It's a mirror of you. The mirror can't change. If the mirror looks like crying, it's because you're crying. The only way if you can see a reflection of yourself that's not crying is you start smiling. Now, it starts smiling. So, again, reality emanates from you. You change the inner reality, you change the outer reality. Your reality, good or bad, whatever it is going to repeat itself until you change. Because reality is made like a mirror of who you are. It reflects whoever you are, whatever you're doing, it just repeats itself. Self-knowledge. I want to say, why is self-knowledge so important? Self-knowledge is the most important thing in the game of life. A person who has self-knowledge, who knows who you are, is way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game. Self-knowledge is so important. Self-knowledge means to accept yourself. It doesn't mean to change yourself. If you are, a bad person, okay, if you don't want to change that, that's good. At least you know you are bad, right? A person who knows is way ahead of the game. A person who knows she is crazy is not a crazy person. A person who knows she's crazy is not a crazy person. Only a person who doesn't know she's crazy is a crazy person. A person who knows she's crazy can be an artist, can be an actress, can be anything. Who is to say? Andy Warhol. Say Andy Warhol. Isn't he pretty crazy? Well, he's an artist because he knows he's crazy. Once you know both your good and your bad, your bright side and your dark side, your ability and what you're not good at, you can either choose to go with it or you can change it. God bless you, right? Change what you can change and love what you cannot change. But it all begins with self-knowledge. Edit Your Life gives you a very, very good and very important way for self-knowledge. You're going to find out who you are. Now, I'm going to go through the entire steps of how you do it here, and then I'm going to guide you in the guided meditation to do it. So bear with me. The benefits. The benefits is surprise, synchronicity, and your reality getting better and better. You have to trust me right now, and if you continuously do Edit Your Life, this is what will happen to you. Is your reality keeps feeding you surprises and keep making synchronicity better and better synchronicity. You want something and suddenly that thing is already happening around you. That's how magical Edit Your Life is. It's a magical, higher dimensional technique. It really comes from the parallel universe of energetic realities. It comes from a higher dimension. And that's why my school is called Parallel University, because we are here to learn higher dimension technology. And Edit Your Life is a very simple technique, but it's a higher dimensional technique, higher dimensional technology. And you just have to trust me right now and start doing it, and you will see your reality coming up with surprises for you, good surprises, better and better. Your life gets better and better, and there's more and more trippy and wonderful synchronicity that just kind of happens. Synchronicity are things that happen that you have not planned. It's just somehow in a higher dimension, things are put together for you. And that happens. Believe me, it's happening to me. Another universal law is the observer changes the observed. The observer changes the observed. That's physics. That is a law of physics. If you start looking at yourself with a very no judgment, with some love, and just looking at yourself kindly, and really start to observe your own behavior and observe other people's behavior and observe reality like an editor, like a bystander, not invested in the movie itself, an editor is not the writer, director, or investor, or the star, or anything like that. The editor is really the observer. And only the observer can tell the story, because only the observer can see what's the story is going on. And that's how great Edit Your Life is, because you are going to be your own editor. You can actually see what's going on in your life. And you have a really clear perception of your life. And then since you're not the writer-director, you just have to observe. You don't have to make the changes yourself. The changes will come. You can make changes if you like. Yes, of course you can. But then you really just have to observe. That's what I find. Because why? Because the observer changes the observed. You are both your own observer and you're both the observed. You're looking at yourself from the point of view of a bystander. Somehow changes your life. Somehow your life will change. Because it's physics. Because you're using universal law to guide your life. Edit Your Life uses a technique called thin slicing. Meaning taking life as like this big, chunky thing that is just one whole big piece. Something happens and it's just kind of all knotted up into this big piece. So what happened in Edit Your Life is you pull it until you thin slice each moment. That's what thin slicing, it's a psychology term. Meaning you take the moment and you cut it down to the smallest moment. And when you slow down things into the smallest moment, when you thin slice time, instead of it going by in big measurements like years, like weeks, like months, you thin slice it into hours. Thin slice it into minutes and then seconds, and then you can watch your life go by frame by frame by frame. That's when you start to notice body language. If you play my video frame by frame by frame, you will start to see my body language. You will see that my body is telling a truth. That is not what my words are saying. In any given situation, there's an underlying reality going in that situation. And when you are living life in the now, in the moment, you can't see it. It's just going by too fast. Now, 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 now. So when you go into Edit Your Life, you thin slice your life into frame by frame. And you start to notice the body language of yourself and the other people, and you start to see the entire situation. So what happens is the body does not lie. The body is a truth detector. You can use it to detect any lie. You can use it to detect your own lies. You know, when you tell someone, you say, "Do you love me?" "Yeah, I love you." "I love you." The body is saying, "No, no, no, I don't love you." But then the words are saying, "I love you." And then, you know, you get snowed by the words. You thought, yeah, this person loves me because she says so. But then her body is like, no. You know, if she's going, "I love you very, very, very much." What is she doing? No. If she's going, if you say you're standing here, right? And she's going, "Yeah, I love you. She's moving away from you. She's saying, "I don't love you. I want to move away from you. I want to get away from you." So those body language will only become evident when you thin slice the time almost down to frames. It's like an editor. In an editing room, you can utilize filmmaking techniques. For example, freeze frames. You can freeze a frame and then really just kind of turn it around and around. And turn it around so that you can see each frame. You stop the memory loop. You stop the loop. There's a piece of sun that is hitting the camera. Sorry, excuse me. Anyway, let me turn it like this a little bit. Isn't that something? There's a piece of sun that just hits the camera. Exactly. Okay, that's better. I'm in my garden making these videos. So when you utilize a freeze frame, okay, let me begin step by step. In Edit Your Life, what happens is, right, you live your life during the day. It's like the movie being shot in the now, and then at night you go into a meditation and you replay the scene in your head. And while you're replaying the scene, you utilize a filmmaking technique like freeze frames. Like, so you stop the memory loop. The memory is a loop, and it just keeps repeating things like, yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. You go freeze frame. It's frozen in a certain moment, and now you can really observe that moment. Like, what actually happened there? What happened when he or she said that sentence? What is my reaction to it? What actually did I do? Did she do? How do I feel? So then you can also fast forward the scene, and you can see, oh, I just repeated what I did 3 years ago to the same situation, but different people. You can also rewind. I mean, that's rewind. Fast forward. You can fast forward to a future in which, you know, situation is completely different. You can imagine what you would do. So you're actually like playing with the footage of life that you have lived today, that day, that particular situation, and you can compare. You can go back and forth, compare. You can utilize freeze frame and stop moments. Here, stop this moment, stop that moment. The most useful technique is slow mode. You slow mode a certain thing that is happening. Say someone come and punch you. Right? You can see all the emotion that is coming from that punch. And you see yourself going, right? You see what's actually going on, because the scene is not just the punch, it's what kind of hatred is involved. Is it maybe just a playful thing? But maybe there actually is some kind of hatred going on. Maybe when you're going down like that, maybe you're feeling actually pretty good about it, instead of feeling like angry. You don't really know. Give it a chance to play out, so you can actually like try it. You don't really know what's actually going on until you really look at it carefully using slow mode. And then you can also, while you're falling down, bring yourself back again and go, whoa, that was the moment when I lost confidence in who I am. Right? You can pinpoint things that are not actually being spoken, that is happening. And that's what self-knowledge means. It's like you can find out how you're being heard, where you're being heard, what is this person's relationship with you, why does this scene happen. All these things have become evident when you do the technique, when you look at your things, when you look at your life so carefully that you observe yourself. And you can then have the power to see what is actually going on. The other very important technique is using other POV. It's called POV, points of view. What you do is a scene in a movie is not shot from just this. It's shot from the profile. It's shot from the left profile, right profile. It's shot from both characters' point of view, called over the shoulder shots. It's sometimes you utilize an overhead shot to look at the situation from both persons' point of view. You would also use something called LS, long shots, MS, medium shots, CU, close up. You use different angles to look at the scene. In a long shot, it includes everything. If two people are talking about something, if two characters are talking about something in a restaurant, a long shot might include all the other people in the restaurant. And you get a sense of the setting of what's going on in this particular conversation. You then come into a shot that from this character looking at this character and another shot from this character looking at this character. You will also come in on a close-up of looking maybe just the mouth, maybe just the eyes, maybe just the face, maybe the hands going like that. Just a close-up. So all these shots, when you utilize this filmmaking technique to look at your life, to look at what's happening in something that just happened in your life that day, you see the underlying story. And you start to see the underlying story that is going on in your life. Finally, in filmmaking, there's something called reshoot. When the whole scene is just totally effed up, it's like, it's just an unsalvageable bad scene. It was just bad. So the best thing you could do for that scene is reshoot. So sometimes you can decide on a reshoot. You're like, whoa, well, I did that. What I did today was really bad. I really hated that. I don't want that in my life. And, you know, you can reshoot that scene. Maybe the next day, depending on what it is. Maybe not. Maybe you would reshoot it, you know, after some time has passed. Maybe even a few years later, you can come back and say, well, 10 years ago, I did that to you. I've been looking at this, what I did to you with this technique called edit your life. I mean, every so often, I would think back on what happened. And now I'm back for a reshoot. I want to redo it. And the reshoot could consist of saying sorry, demanding the other person to say sorry, you know, doing it better. Maybe you know, you are a person who is always do things one way in your relationship, and after doing edit your life for a few years, you start to see that I don't have to do that. Why do I always do that to my loved one? And you decide to do different things for your loved one. So that's what edit your life is for. Is to, sometimes you want to reshoot, but mostly you don't really have to consciously, it depends on what it is, of course. You don't really have to consciously make changes, because the observer changes the observer. It's a universal law, it's a physics. It's physics. If you start really looking at your life using the important scenes in your life, using these techniques, these filmmaking techniques, you start to see the underlying story going on in your life. You start to have self-knowledge. You start to realize until you change, your reality is going to just repeat itself with different characters, with different locations, with different story, even storyline, but it's the same scene. You start to see that the frequency that you feed into your reality is just giving you back the exact same thing. And you start to realize that you start to realize that you're observing these things, and then you suddenly are surprised that your reality is giving you something better and better, and you're surprised that your reality is improving because you're just observing yourself. All you need is clear observation of what you are doing with your life. And your life just kind of get better automatically. Of course, also you can reshoot certain scenes and that directly makes it better. So that's the technique of Edit Your Life. I would be very excited to hear from you, your comments, if you try it. And you can, any questions you have, please send me a comment in the comment and ask me these questions. I personally answer them. And also, if there's any topics in the parallel universe way, like anything you want to know about the energetic realm, extraterrestrial, synchronicity, ESP, remote viewing, lucid dreaming, all this stuff I'm really interested in, you can ask me to make a video for you, and I will do it. So send me a line in the comments, and thank you very much for watching. Jenny Funkmeyer here, Parallel University on Edit Your Life. Next video is a guided meditation to do Edit Your Life, and you can follow with that meditation. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.